Little double drafting here. So this is some Shetland lamb that I bought, oh my gosh, several years ago. Yeah, summertime in Chicago already. They're starting with the firework boom booms. So this is a fleece that I bought from Laura Matthews from Psalm 23 Farm. She used to be exclusively, she used to raise fine Shetland sheep. Now she does sell fleeces now, but mainly they're Shetland Worth crosses and Romney crosses. I think she sells some Romneys for a neighboring farm. I'm not really sure. But this was, I think the fleece's name was Harmony, and it was a oatmeal color. And this is, the Shetlands can be quite varied in their type, but this is, they call it the 1927 fine. But look how it's extremely bouncy and springy. Here's a little sample from in watch here. It's like an accordion, you know. So it's very, very bouncy. So it's almost like a down wool in that it's springy. But I have other Shetlands that are much more open fleeces that have a more loose crimp, and you know, not quite like this. And it spins beautifully long draw. So I had carted these up, and they were actually, I was cleaning out, going through some of my stash, and I found these bats. And what I did is I just stripped them down into these long strips of roving. And this is the last little bit. So I already have one of the bobbins spun up here. And I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, yeah. So at first I did a I did a little sample skein with my spindles. This has been washed. I did it in a semi-woolen on my spindle. But yeah, it's quite springy. It's a really pretty 2-ply. This is a more like I said, this is more semi-woolen because, you know, I let some of the twist in the drafting zone when I spun it. But when I spindle spin, I usually think I give a little bit more twist than I would on the wheel when I do woolen spinning. So this is one of the bobbins. You can see it's kind of, I left the lumpy bumpies kind of textured, because what's going to happen in the finished yarn is you're going to get that typical woolen look where you don't see the ply structure very strongly. It kind of blends in. So this is definitely a fine wool, more like I would say more like a fine Corriedale or Cormo. It actually reminds me of Elsa wool Cormo. And it's Shetland, so I think I'm going to do an episode just on Shetland and my experience with Shetland fleeces, and go through some of the samples that I have in my stash. I think that would be an interesting idea for a episode. So here's the one bobbin. I just split it, and now I've just got this little bit left. And I've got quite a bit of Shetland in my stash spun up already. I've got a gray, I've got a white, I've got a sample pack from Hilltop Cloud. And I'm thinking I should make a colorwork hat with this, just to see how it knits up. So yeah, I'm just going to keep spinning along here for a little while. So I just draw back. I don't count treadles or anything, but I think because when you get in the rhythm, I'm going 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10. Here's a little nip. I just take that off of there, and then I let it in. I build up a little twist, and then I just count out. I don't really count out. It's just very rhythmic. I'm going to double draft here, and this is I guess they call this supported long draw because my hand is here, but I could just as easily turn up the tension a wee bit. I still seem to need a little bit of tension here, but I can just do this and not even, I just don't like doing it without any support at all. I like to create some sort of tension here near the orifice. Yeah. So I'm not a teacher or anything, but this is just how I do it. Now I have tried, I have spun from Rolex before, and I'll link below a really wonderful little video by a British woman who explains how she spins English long draw, true English long draw from Rolex. So this is just from roving. So I mean, this is woolen, definitely woolen, but it's not English woolen, it's just supported long draw like that. Yeah, and then once you want to check your twist, you just take out a length, and you can see how fluffy and airy it is. And then when I ply, I'm going to actually ply it with more twist than the amount of twist that I've spun it with. And then there you get your beautiful woolen yarn and very warm. I really am more of an intuitive spinner. I don't really, I love the technical aspects, but like just counting treadles and, you know, I'm doing this on my fast flyer with my Lendrum. This is, I just looked this up. This is the fast flyer. It's a 12, 15, 17. So I'm on the 15-to-1 ratio. And I do like to spin woolen with a very high ratio and a fairly good uptake so that when I let go, it goes right in. So yeah. This one I left a little bit of the grease in. I think it was just I was inexperienced when I washed the fleece. So it's got a little bit of that lanolin, but what I've been doing is just letting it sit in the sunny window and warm up a little bit before I spin. It's something you can do if you feel like you've got a greasy fleece, it's a little tacky. I think it feels lovely, but it's not really good to put a greasy fleece into your drum carder. So, but no harm done. So this is my summer occupation, is washing fleece and spinning. I know spinning's become a lot more popular these last few months. A few very, very popular podcasters have taken it up. So, and that's a wonderful thing because you've got lots more people interested in spinning. So if you're a spinner, do you like to do long draw? See, that's just a little nip. I just pull that out. I'm not, sometimes I like a super smooth bat. Sometimes what's nice about woolen is all the inconsistencies sort of work out in the ply. Okay, now I'm going to join my last piece here. So I've got just a little bit of fiber here. And so I fluff out my end. You can see I didn't do a great job carding this. But if you've bought roving and it's like this, you can always just pick out those little neps or things. But I don't really worry about them too much. Sometimes I open it up a little bit. I don't do a ton of pre-drafting usually. This one, since it had been folded up in my stash, I did like I said, I drafted it out into these long strips. But I don't do a ton of preparation before I start spinning. So I have my piece here, and I've got my new fiber here, and I just lay it along, and the twist will just naturally pick it up because wool wants to stick together because it has all those lovely scales. So long draw is my favorite way of spinning because it's fast, fast, fast. None of this forward. Drives me crazy. Unless the staple is very long. I don't enjoy short forward at all. Yeah, you just let it go. You just let that twist build up. And you just follow along. And once you feel like you got the strength there, you just let it in. I've been homesick. this first week I've been off school. So it hasn't been that fun, but when I had the energy, I thought I would pull my camera out and see what this looks like. So I enjoy watching people spin on YouTube. And I don't always like it when they do the fast forward thing. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like that? Where they show the fast forward? It makes me nervous, you know, because spinning is just a relaxing occupation. I don't want to see it in fast motion, but I don't know. Slow yarn. See, there's a little nip. I could have done a better job getting those out, but I just pick them out as you go. Build up a little twist. It's really by feel. You feel the twist coming into the yarn. It's like a dance or rhythm when you dance or when you sing. You just naturally follow the rhythm of the wheel. So I highly encourage you to give this long draw a try if you're a new spinner. Get yourself some roving, not comb top. Get yourself preferably farm roving. Do farm roving Etsy search. And buy a roving, like a Shetland or CBM, Corriedale. And don't be alarmed if it's a little bit of lumpy bumpy. It's kind of, with woolen spinning, you don't want it perfectly parallel. So, that's a thick bit, so what I do is I just kind of untwist it there. And yeah, so get yourself some farm roving and give yourself a try with long draw. Just, again, some veg matter in there. Just start in your usual method. And then hold it. Build up some twist and just let that twist build in and draw back. Draw back. Let it in. Build up some twist. Draw back. And every once in a while you got to stop and move your hook, which sometimes I forget to do, and I get these big but again, I don't care. I'm not a very, I'm a relaxed spinner. I should call myself the relaxed spinner. And you can just kind of help it along here. Again, see, I probably should have flicked my fiber before I put it through the drum carder. I didn't know what I was doing at this time, so I just kind of, I don't know, I picked it apart and just threw it in there. Almost there. I don't think this one's definitely going to have more than this one. All right, so I'll talk to you on the flip side. Hope everybody's having a good day. So this is what the yarn looks like after it's been washed and has been drying outside. You can see how fuzzy it is. Woolen spun yarn. Very fuzzy. It's very squishy. It's very squishy. Feels very bouncy. And very elastic. Yeah. So yeah, really nice way to spin. Okay. I'll talk to you real soon. Hope everybody has a good week.